everybody. It's Amy back at the Hub. I am here with Elaine, our wonderful adaptive yoga student, and we're talking all things grounding and expansion today. So let's talk a little bit more about that. Elaine, I'm going to have you bring your legs together just a bit. Yeah, not even that much. Probably don't even have to go that much. They'll help you feel a little more stable. So I want your knees kind of out in front of your hips and your ankles underneath your knees. So you could even bring this leg out just a little bit. I want you to sit where you're really stable. That looks pretty good to me. How's that feel for you?
Okay.
Does that feel good for you? Okay. So before we start this, I want to make sure that Elaine is in a very grounded position. So before the camera started rolling, I had her move to the edge of her chair. I know, of course, that Elaine is stable. If she moves toward the front of her chair, remember that not all of your yoga students will be. So making sure that the conditions of safety are met so your students can really begin to experience their poses. So Elaine's in this very nice grounded position, and it looks so nice that now I need to make you work. So I'm going to ask you to bring your arms up into an Urdhva Hastasana over your head. And I'm going to let Elaine work a little bit here. This is not an easy position, and I also know that this is not an easy position for Elaine to maintain very much. We'll talk a little bit more about it later, but I think I've let her suffer enough. So I'm going to come in, and I'm going to give her a little bit of support here. Whew, and she begins to grow into the pose. I could feel her arms go up a little bit more. She might be pressing down a little bit more. And then, of course, once I've given her that sensation of expansion, that sensation of support, the love has to go away. And Elaine's going to try and maintain that a little bit longer. And then go ahead and let your arms down. Yeah, and a sigh comes with that. One of the reasons that I use this as an example of grounding and expansion is that it really helps our students begin to notice that sensation of being in a difficult pose and how sometimes we strive, we all do, to have the physical manifestation of the pose. In other words, get those arms up and keep them up and work as hard as you can. But what I notice in myself and also in my students, that sometimes when you're working so hard on a big expansive pose like that, you actually begin to shrink in the body. And it may not be the outer body, but often it's the inner body begins to clamp down. Do you experience anything like that?
It might be, but also my left arm just goes.
It's just hard.
The left side is not so good.
Okay.
Not good, bad, but it can't sustain.
So for you, it's donkey work. I mean, it's just working really, really hard, isn't it? It's just like getting in there and working hard.
Or, sorry to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
One thing that you do that I just love, you give us permission throughout the class to just not. And I think, yes, Amy said, do it. And then that arm just kind of goes, and I think, just do it with this arm.
Do it with one arm, right. Do you think that you're getting the benefit of the pose when you're working that hard? Or are you simply trying to get into that physical outline of the pose? What's going through your mind then?
Well, if the left arm has to go up and stay up, then it's just donkey work. I mean, it's really, yeah, it's not even doable. But this, I think I got the lesson out of this one. Mm-hmm. And then this one is like, okay, I tried, Mom. I did my best.
So maybe gaining or achieving the physical manifestation of the pose isn't quite as important.
Yeah.
Maybe. So, like I said, one of the things I notice when I'm practicing yoga, of course, myself, but also in my students, is that when we are working physically so hard that sometimes we lose the beauty of the pose. And I'm thinking probably just about anybody who's watching this, you recognize it, I recognize it. that there's a part of you that takes over to achieve the physical manifestation of the pose, and the beauty of the pose is really lost. So that's one of the reasons that we use a little bit of reference. And so I came and I gave Elaine just a little bit of touch and support on the arms. And by doing that, she's then able to grow into the pose. She's able to feel that sense of expansion in the pose. So what did it feel like when I came and put my hands on your wrists?
It's a relief, it's a joy, and then I can also stretch a little bit more. And it's like, oh, okay, I didn't know I could do that.
Yeah, and you kind of fill the whole vessel.
Yeah.
Suddenly it becomes that, with that little bit of reference, suddenly the pose is felt in the whole body, which is, of course, what we want. We want our students to be able to feel that sensation of the entire body being involved in the pose or benefiting from the pose. And sometimes we use a little bit of reference to help the body realize that. So, yeah. So I think that in providing a little reference, and the reference could possibly be a block between the feet. Maybe the reference is a block between the knees. You might not be able to touch your students. You also might not be able to get around all your students and give them that sense of reference. Maybe you use a belt or a dowel to give them that sensation of reference with their arms. But allowing for that expansion and allowing for them to find enough ease to feel the entirety of the pose in the body makes for a better experience as you're practicing yoga.
When we use a strap or a dowel, it's like the other arm is pulling this one up.
Yeah.
I can do them both if this guy drags the other one along.
And so it's, again, a nice way of being able to feel the pose in its entirety and feel that sensation of symmetry and that form of integration of the mind and body by using some simple props. Thanks, Elaine.
Thanks, teacher.
That's it for today. Thank you so much for sharing the yoga practice with Elaine and myself, and we'll see you back at the hub another time. Thanks for watching. Consider subscribing, and don't forget to turn on your notifications.